You're watching QTV and this is the news with me, Mariette Sidibe. Our top stories. 2 senior government officials visited the Birkama market in the aftermath of the fire outbreak, which ravaged 36 stalls. The Minister of Tourism and Culture, Amat, said government will not compromise standards in the tourism industry. He made this remark to journalists during an inspection of hotel facilities. And a former teacher and nurse have now found drumming to be his source of living. Those were our main stories, and now the news in detail. Following the recent outbreak of fire at the Birkama market that destroyed 36 shops, a delegation of government officials on Wednesday visited the victims to show solidarity. The delegation included cabinet ministers, senior civil servants, and they were led to the market by the governor of the West Coast region. Babukar Sise reports.
The local government minister Musa Drame, the Minister of Interior Ibrahim Mbalo were among the large government entourage that arrived at the market. The group toured the affected area of the market to assess the damage and speak to the victims. The governor of West Coast region said he visited the market several times, but that did not prevent the minister from coming to meet the victims. You all saw me here on the first day, but some say that no government official came here. I represent the president here. Since I am here, there is no need for these people to come. But they insisted that they have to come. The minister wants to see the market while awaiting for the fire report. That's why they are here. They are very saddened by what had happened. The local government is in charge of the market. The government is very proud of you, and it's the government's duty to make sure you return back to business. Amigay, a vendor who lost 2 stalls in the blaze, said they desperately needed help from the government.
We are at 0% at the moment. We have a big responsibilities on our shoulders. The way you expect from your child when he or she is away, that same way we are expecting from the government. We were angry at the beginning because we didn't see any government officials except the governor.
The Minister of Local Government, Musa Drame, said they were all saddened by the loss of livelihoods, but was relieved that there was no loss of life. He advised the victims to be patient and promised that government would not abandon them. The president sent us to come here today to see the damage ourselves and then go back and discuss it. The fire service, the police and all other security services and the area council and physical planning will assess the condition of our markets and how the fire service can have easy access if there is a fire outbreak. We will set up a committee to visit all markets and assess their status to prevent fires. We are all saddened by this, but please exercise patience because the government will not abandon you. We will go and discuss and make sure we wipe out your tears. We got the information that the chairperson of Q Group, Mohamed Jah, was here and he has pledged to help the government and the area council to make sure the victims get back on their feet. The Q Group has launched a relief fund to help the victims and has opened a bank account with Arab Gambia Islamic Bank for anyone who wishes to make a donation to the victims. Q Group has already donated an amount of $1 million. For QTV News, I am Babukar Sise.
The Minister of Tourism and Culture, Amat, Wednesday led a delegation of officials of his ministry and the Gambia Tourism Board on a conducted tour of the tourism development area. As Ansumana Esonyasi reports, the minister urged all hotel owners to ensure that high standards are met.
A high-powered delegation of officials of the Ministry of Tourism and Culture and the Gambia Tourism Board Wednesday embarked on a tour of the tourism development area and some hotel facilities to assess the state of preparedness as the tourism season commenced last week. Led by the Minister of Tourism and Culture, the team first visited the Tamala Sun Prime Hotel, which is a new hotel under construction. Expected to be completed in 6 weeks, this 4-star hotel is anticipated to breed a new cycle in the tourism sector. Upon completion of the inspection of the facility, The minister registered his delight with the progress being made and urged the hotel owners to strive hard in ensuring that standards are always met, warning that his ministry will not compromise standards. From Tamala Hotel, the team proceeded to African Princess Hotel, which is also under construction. The facility is expected to be completed in early November with 140 rooms plus a presidential villa. Other hotels visited are Metsi, who are currently on an expansion project of 48 new rooms, Senegambia Hotel, which is constructing 2 new story buildings, Sunyu Hotel, currently under refurbishment, Holiday Beach Hotel, also under construction, and the Gambia Tours, where the minister inspected the state of the passenger buses used for transportation of tourists from the airport to their various hotels. Speaking to journalists at the end of the tour, the Minister of Tourism and Culture said the tour was successful as it has given him a chance to see the state of the hotels and facilities within the tourism development area and their level of preparedness. He reiterated government's commitment in ensuring that high standards are met by service providers in the tourism sector.
For us now, that's a policy that we cannot compromise. People must give standard. They must, because that's what will really promote our tourism industry too. We want the quality guests to come and visit our hotels, visit our country, and when they come, they should have what we call value for money.
Quizzed on the recent changes, especially with the ministry's demand for the all-inclusive service, the minister said he won't be drawn into such discussion. He even went further to suggest that it is either people are being misled or journalists are not in the loop as to the realities on the ground.
You are misinformed. You are misinformed about, or go and make research. You see, journalists, it's important that sometimes you also make research to know exactly the subject you're dealing with. The whole world today, 62% of the whole world booking is on all-inclusive. Everybody have a right to bring guests in this country as long as you're within the purview of the law. Who are we to stop you selling the product that you want to sell that is not breaking the law in this country? We are a free market society. All-inclusive is here to stay. Bed and breakfast is here to stay. Full body is here to stay. Half body is here to stay. It depends on what choice of holiday you want to do. Gambia is open for all genuine holiday makers and period. And that's a policy.
Speaking earlier, Chief Superintendent Ansumana Kinte, officer commanding the security unit within the tourism development area, said they are faced with numerous challenges which are affecting their work and appealed to the minister to facilitate support in order for his men to be able to carry out their functions as expected.
Challenges are obvious. We know the resource constraint of our departments, but notwithstanding, we are appealing respectfully to Honorable Minister and all key stakeholders who can do their little quota to make sure that the basic equipment that I am yearning for my personnel are available to our disposal. And if that happens, I'm not challenging the authorities, but respectfully, if that happens and we fall short, then there is a big correction mark on my back when it comes to productivity.
For her part, the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Tourism and Culture, Kodo Jawang, said her ministry is committed to supporting service providers in the industry, especially the security service. She said they are aware of the challenges they are faced with and that efforts are already being made to provide them with sufficient support.
We have all along worked hand in hand with the Ministry of Interior. As a sector, we cannot really be seen to be lagging behind when it comes to security of tourism, because we've seen what has happened in other countries, neighboring countries for that matter. So we would continue to ensure that the needs of these security personnel we've met today are met. So it's quite something that government as a whole, because it had reached the highest level, and they have been provided with mobility vehicles, but obviously with the expansion, as you have seen, of all these hotels, they would need more vehicles to be able to conduct the inspections and patrols that they do along the coast as well as within the TDA itself. So we would continue to ensure that we provide all their needs.
Other speakers included Abdullah Haidara, Director of the Gambia Tourism Board, and senior officials of the board who all assured of their support and commitment to the advancement of the tourism sector. For QTV News, I am Ansumana Esonyasi.
The Gambia joins the rest of the world to celebrate International Day of the Girl Child. The day is aimed at highlighting and addressing the needs and challenges girls face, while promoting girls' empowerment and the fulfillment of their human rights. The theme for this year's celebration is, with her, a skilled girl force. Jena Masonko has more.
In this generation, educated and skilled workers are in great demand. But according to the UN, roughly a quarter of young people, most of them female, are currently neither employed or in education or training. Under the team with her, a skilled girl force should make duty bearers to advocate for and draw attention and investments to the most pressing needs and opportunities for girls to attain skills for employability. QTV visited different organizations who are working towards the advancement of the girl child to sound their opinion on the importance of setting aside such a day.
First of all, I must say I am very excited because back in the days, we did not celebrate events like such. Back in the days, you realize that such events were not celebrated because women or girls have never been in the front line. But now that we are celebrating such events, especially in a country like Gambia, I must say I am very impressed. So first of all, to start with why it is important to celebrate the International Day of the Girl Child is because girls are powerful. The strength of girls is immeasurable. We have seen the amount of greatness that women have been able to achieve in today's generation and in generations to come. We have seen a lot of girls take up agendas that men have not even thought of taking in the past years. We have seen a lot of girls in politics, a lot of women in politics, a lot of girls engaging themselves in national development. And this alone shows how women are powerful and the change that they continue to make for themselves and for the future generations to come.
The importance of this day cannot be overemphasized, putting into consideration the important role that women and girls play in our socio-economic development as a country. I think it's important that we have this specific day so we can celebrate the achievements of women and girls and also have a dialogue around the many struggles and loopholes that we have, especially in our laws that have to do with women and girls as a people.
The reason why we are happy about this date being set aside for young girls is because we've seen that young girls have equal potentials as young men. So in as much as you want to empower young men alone, we are looking forward to you empowering young men and girls so that we can have a sustainable society, because with young girls involved in the work chain, we can definitely see success coming towards a country because both gender are being empowered equally.
This is a day that gives us, the organization that are working with on women and girls empowerment, it gives us an opportunity to reflect on the strides that we've made in this advocacy journey and also discuss the challenges that we are facing in this job. It's a day to reflect on how far we have come as an organization in achieving our dreams for women and girls, especially girls in this country.
Ida Jatta, Program Manager Girls Agenda, called on the government to invest in the girl child. According to the UN, 12 million girls under 18 will be married and 21 million girls aged 15 to 19 years will become pregnant in developing regions. Despite all these, girls succeed. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jada Masonko.
Drumming has been an art for centuries. Drummers entertain people in many traditional functions such as weddings and naming ceremonies. In the Gambia, it is a profession that is associated with entertainment at both public and traditional functions. One man who is working a living out of drumming and so passionate about it is Lamin Keta, known by his nickname Takatiti. Momono Gajaga has more.
Takatiti is a drummer who left his profession as a nurse and a teacher some 2 decades ago. His story is a rare one. Born in 1957, the 61-year-old is still very strong to beat 3 drums at a time. He is so passionate about his profession.
These drums are my friends. These drums, they are really my friends. When I started singing, I could not drum. Until when I went to Esau, I found Alaji Mbub. He was the first man to give me a talking drum. The wife is called Tenay. I started to train myself by 91 onto the drums because it was not even easy to make a group of 3 and move with them. And that's why I try to find in myself a man of 3 in 1. And these drums are here for that.
His drumming is not only limited to Janjambure where he lives, but transcends to other parts of the country, making Laming both a traveler and historian.
I know Brikama and the Cluster. I am from Nyamina. I know Fladu. Only then I went to Baribo. I know the Nyomis. We were there till came the politicians I followed the politician to every corner, and I still became more and more familiar. Much more, I joined the tourism, where I tell the tourists about the Gambia and our culture. Here is Janjambure, where I ever told the tourists that there were two older men who were Janjang and Bure. And furthermore, tell them the slave house in here. I would always embark on the debate that Janjambure is a more important place than many other places. We know it was proposed to be the first planned capital of the Gambia.
Lamin's whole life changed after falling victim of entrenchment of workers in April 1986. He was among hundreds of teachers who were laid off at the time. He later embarked on farming for a few years before picking up a job as a nurse.
I was ever like a ceremonial scout. I liked dancing and singing, and at this time, I felt I can mobilize the women and use drums on the farms. As I was doing that, the project ended after 2 years, and my friends felt to have me for entertainment at their ceremonies. Now I went in for naming ceremonies, wedding ceremonies, farm work songs, and I was there an artist. But I only realized that what I could achieve from the art at that time was not comparable what I could have been paid for a month by the government. So I tend to take it for my self-employment. I continue to do it.
Mamudu Gajaga, QTV News.
The School of Journalism and Digital Media of the University of the Gambia has commemorated the 4-year anniversary since the establishment of the school. The theme for the commemoration is Protecting the Fourth Estate, the role of stakeholders. Rahijata attended the commemoration and she now reports.
The commemoration, which takes the form of a march past from the Sarakunda Hospital to the School of Journalism at the University of the Gambia along the MDI Road, brought together government officials, stakeholders, journalists as well as students to examine the role of stakeholders in enhancing the smooth operation of the rule of law and democracy. Ms. Aissatou Keita, the president of Journalism Students Association, says the school is established to inculcate journalistic knowledge, norms, values and ethics in breeding professional journalists that will contribute their quota in national development. She said, since her executive took over the leadership of the association, students have been provided with internship opportunities to better equip them with the relevant practical knowledge. She informs the gathering that her executive has embarked on a series of works such as organizing a training for all press clubs in schools within the Kanifing municipality, as well as organize a workshop on useful reporting skills, especially chair reporting.
4 years on, students of the school have made a recognizable impact on the university, despite the small size of the school, which continue to grow by the day, attracting students from all over the country. The school is still young and growing. It's still a small community, but that's the basis of our pride in the school. The fact that despite our size, we are able to cultivate one of the most vibrant environments in the university. At the School of Journalism, we do not see one another as schoolmates. To us, every student of this school is a member of the small family.
The Deputy Permanent Secretary to the Ministry of Information, Mr. Ibrahim Dabo, says the government of the Gambia is trying harder to ensure that bad laws that affect freedom of speech and information are revisited and changed. He affirms the support of the Ministry of Information and to work closely with the media for the realization of the development goals. Mr. Dabo urges journalists to adhere to journalistic principle of fair and balanced reporting.
The first and foremost notable step towards this realization of this objective is the constitution of a special committee to review the draconian laws and provisions in the 2009 ICT Act. This exercise was fully completed and a report has been submitted with a view to accelerate the amendment process of the ICT Act.
Sheriff Pojan Jr., president of the Gambia Press Union, said that one of the most fundamental principles of a journalist is credibility. He therefore calls on journalists to always adhere strictly to journalistic ethics to foster respect between the media and people. Despite the challenges faced by the media, the GPU president renewed his executive commitment to protect the rights of journalists.
As a Gambia Press Union, we recognize the fact that there is a lot of goodwill from the government, from our government, when it comes to press issues, when it comes to freedom of expression, when it comes to media freedom, press freedom. Thanks to that goodwill, we've seen some of the draconian laws that we fought, that the people before us, that the founders of journalism in this country, the likes of Data Haidara, the likes of Pap Sen, the likes of Babukar Gay, Dixon Colley, a lot of people, that they fought for decades. We've seen those laws are no more with us, but still there are some laws that we are fighting, and we will continue to fight until they are repealed, until we do away with some of those draconian laws. So on behalf of the Gambia Press Union, the government representatives here, we salute the goodwill, we recognize the goodwill, and we celebrate the goodwill. But behind this goodwill, behind all the sweet talks, from the president down to the last person, the government, as journalists, we will not be complacent. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but all of you here in your quest to make a living from journalism, to recognize yourself, to identify yourselves as journalists, you must not be complacent. At the GPU level, as far as the GPU executive is concerned, and the GPU executive that I preside over, we will not relent. We will not be complacent. We will pursue with the government. We will watch. And we will make sure we will fight.
The representative from Ministry of Higher Education, Uminjai, says the Ministry of Higher Education is committed to ensure that students are given the relevant knowledge in their various fields of studies.
The ministry is fully aware of the progress, the excellence, and the steadfastness of this particular school. And we continue to support, as we have been supporting, all schools of the tertiary and higher education institutions.
The celebration was characterized by presentation of certificates to interns, as well as recitation of poems, drama, performance by students of the school. I am Rohijata, QTV News.
Before we end this bulletin, let's recap our main stories. Following the recent fire outbreak at the Birkama market that destroyed 36 shops, a delegation of government officials on Wednesday visited the victims to show solidarity. The Minister of Tourism and Culture, Amat, on Wednesday led a delegation of officials of his ministry and the Gambia Tourism Board to a conducted tour of the tourism development area. And a former teacher and nurse have now found drumming to be his source of living. Lamin Keita, known by his nickname Takatiti, is so passionate about the 3 drums he beats at naming ceremonies and other traditional functions. That's all we have for you in this edition of the news. Join us tomorrow for more news.